So I spent quite a bit of time comparing Rayhaan Terra to this Amouage Outlands decant that I have, really going back and forth, deciding which is better. And honestly, I really don't like either of these. That's just my honest personal opinion. On one end, I think Outlands is grossly overpriced. And on another hand, I think Rayhaan Terra just doesn't really hit the mark as something that I would want to wear. I do feel there's differences and similarities between both of these. I'm going to go over that. Then at the end, my wife is going to do a blind side by side. So when I got Rayhaan Terra in and I sprayed it on paper, instantly I actually liked it. I thought it was interesting. There's something that with Amouage Outlands, people say that they get like a wet dirt, spicy smell. And I get that from Outlands, but it's so well blended into this lemon cookie kind of smell that I don't really detect it and discern it as its own thing. Okay, so that's how I describe the scent of Amouage Outlands. It does smell kind of like a lemon cookie to me. And in the background, you got some spices and incense that are kind of giving the lemon cookie a bit of a flavoring. And honestly, I get so much lemon cookie with Outlands that I was like, yeah, I get it. There's something interesting way in the background. But I don't really detect it that much. What I'm really hit with is more of like a lemon cake smell. And that made Outlands just seem kind of like overpriced because it just felt like there's not a lot of interesting nature to this. There's not a lot of complexity going on or nuances. It's not really adding something totally different to my collection or something I never smelt before. I've smelt things like Nishani Annie or Zerjoff Lyra, other things that have that kind of lemony smell. So I was like, it's not worth like crazy money to me. I like Outlands. It gets a lot of compliments. It projects. It's a good crowd pleaser. But I have a lot of fragrances that do that, and it just didn't feel worth over $400 or $500 to me. That's my personal opinion on Outlands. That being said, I do like Outlands, and I do think it's nice. And if it was priced where I could digest it as a dumb reach fragrance, I probably would have it. But that's just my overall take on it. Now, with this, how does the scent differ with this? With this, I still get that lemon cookie smell, but that background, that whole, it almost smells like wet dirt or incense or something like that. It feels like that's a bit more separate on this one, and I can actually discern it more. So when I sprayed Rayhaan Terra, my instant reaction is I like this more than Outlands because it's offering a more creative twist. I don't have anything with that kind of wet dirt, incensey spice smell that this has. So I was just like, wow, this is more niche. Like on my collection wall, this would actually provide a unique smell. And it felt a bit more challenging and interesting. Honestly, at first, I really liked this more. And then there was another time where I sprayed this on one wrist and I sprayed Outlands on another. And in the dry down, I still preferred the Rayhaan Terra. I was smelling it and I was like, wow, it's almost like the lemon note is a bit sharper and I could detect that incensey thing more underneath. And it felt like there was more separation, but in a good way, whereas Outlands felt more like lemon cake butter, like really good smelling, don't get me wrong. Mass appealing, easy to like, smoother, obviously higher quality and better put together. That's just my personal take on it. Almost like lemon butter to an extent, but not really exciting. And that whole incensey kind of wet dirt thing was there and I could smell it, but not, it's like one of those things. That's what makes Outlands interesting. And I have a hard time detecting it. I know it almost seems like there's a different level of sensitivity to that. Like some people in my comments said Outlands is challenging. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not challenging to me at all. It's like a super mass appealing, easy to like lemon cake scent. But what I theorize is just my personal theory is that some people are more sensitive to how they blended in those incensey notes and spicy notes or where they sourced them to. Like Reflection Man is another fragrance that's like this. Some people smell Reflection Man and it smells like tortilla to them, and to some it doesn't at all. So I feel like Outlands is one of those things. It's really subjective with this one. But I don't really detect the spices in Outlands that much. It's really hard for me, but I detect it in here and it makes it more interesting. So I still liked Rayhaan Terra more. So like, where did Rayhaan Terra fall short? Before I review anything, I make a point to wear it because I really feel like when you just smell something on your wrist, it doesn't mean that the wearing experience is really going to be the same. So I wore 3 sprays of Rayhaan Terra to work. When I sprayed it actually on to wear it, that whole spicy wet dirt thing just really put me off. It just smelled bad to me. It did. Okay. And the way I would say it smelled bad is it smelled like some kind of sauce that you'd find at an Indian food restaurant, some kind of paste. Like it didn't have anything like the spice. It wasn't like it was spicy. It was more like it was very blah, like bland, milky in a bad way, like milky dirt or something. Almost like I went to an Indian restaurant and I got some sauce and it wasn't spicy or anything. It was more like bland and it just smelled like Indian food to me. And honestly kind of grossed me out. And on my drive to work, I was like legit getting nauseous in my car, smelling this stuff, filling up the car because of how strong it is. And then at work in the dry down, yeah, it started to remind me of Outlands, but there was just something off about it, like when I was actually wearing it. Like I wore Outlands a bunch of times, and every time I wore Outlands, I enjoyed the car ride. I enjoyed being at work and smelling my wrist. I felt like I smelled good. With Rayhaan Terra, I felt like I smelled bad, honestly. Like I felt this weird hesitation about it and this weird kind of icky feeling about wearing it. So the wearing experience of Rayhaan Terra is where it really fell flat for me. And it's one of those things, is it worth like $50? No, because I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't wear it at all. Like I would never reach for this. So I'm going to let go of it. Is Outlands worth $500 or whatever? No. So honestly, both of these were just a flop to me, in my opinion. And I'm just moving on from the whole Outlands DNA, but I'm sure some people, they're curious what my thoughts are because I'm not just another Jomas brother with links. Keep in mind though, fragrance is very subjective. It's really hard to sample Rayhaan Terra. So like it's one of those ones you kind of have to, I don't know how you sample this. Maybe somebody, I'm not sure, but that's just my experience with Rayhaan Terra. That's my experience with it. There's something off about it. On paper, it kind of seems like a good idea, but on clothes and on my body, it seems like not so good of an idea. And I don't get why I would ever reach for this. I have plenty of other crowd pleasers, even budget friendly ones that I would reach for before I'd reach for this. If this actually smelled like Outlands to me, like it was really close and the wearing experience was similar, I would totally keep it. But it's not that. It's not that to me at all.
Of the other.
Wow. They are very, very, very similar. I don't know. They are so similar. It's very hard to decide which one I like best because it's like smelling the same thing. Or I'm gonna go with this one.
What do you like about it more?
This one feels like it has more of the floral side to it, more pronounced. So just for that, but they are very similar. Almost the same. Like I feel like you sprayed the same thing on both.
The one's like sharper and stronger.
A little sharper and stronger, yeah. So I'm gonna go with this one.